Alrighty, guys. Welcome to today's training. We are talking today about Trello, and Trello is a nice app that will allow you to organize a lot of the work you're doing. I have asked for Tracy Pullman to also make sure she was on this call. She's one of our students anyway, but she uses Trello a lot, and so I'm going to give you a little bit of basic information about Trello, and then I'm going to pass the shared screen over to Tracy and allow her to share her screen, and so she can show you some of the ways that she uses it. And then if you guys have any questions, you can ask, and one of us, most likely Tracy, will be the best one to answer it for today's topic. But let me go ahead and share my screen. And this website is Trello.com. That is Trello.com. And while my screen is being shared, I cannot see if you raise your hand. So if you do have a question, just click the raise hand button or just unmute yourself and start speaking. All right, let me go to Trello. All right, so first, when you first go to Trello.com, it's going to bring you to your dashboard. And I know my computer looks like it is running a little slow today. All of the kids are back at school. Let's see. Well, here we go. All right, it is, hold on, it's still loading it's still loading, guys. Give it just a moment. I see we have a few more people joining us. Welcome. I see that Tim jumped on. Tim, later, before we end the call, I want to share with people the exciting thing that you and I came up with. So don't let me forget at the end of this call, okay? All righty, let's see. Where are we at? Okay, Trello. Oh my goodness, if mine's gonna run this slow, I might just hand it to Tracy soon. All right, so you guys, I have not used Trello for a couple of years, but when I was using it, I was using it a lot, probably the way that Tracy is now, and it was very helpful. I have since found other programs that do cost money, which is why I stopped using this one, but this is a good start for people who want to organize this way. And so what I want to show you is when you first come on here, this is your boards. So your boards are kind of like, well, they're technically your team. I think they call it team. No, they do call it boards. So there's boards and teams. So the boards are these little things, like all of these combined. So I'm going to show you inside of them, but basically it is like a holding spot for you to keep track of things. And I looked at this yesterday in preparation of today's class to just kind of see what I had in here. And I want to show you guys something really cute. So down here where it says raving fans, these were people, and I deleted a whole bunch of people out of these yesterday. And I also had one of my members that I deleted also to get prepared for today's class. But raving fans, these are people who were like my raving fans that would tell everyone about me. And I just left a couple on here to show you. But it was interesting that I found Isaac on here back before he and I dated. Look, he was one of my raving fans. And so what I would have in the raving fans section, and everybody's raving fans look the same. They had all of these, what do they call these, Tracy? Gosh, what is this? I can't remember what this thing is called, a list. I think they call it a list. Tracy, if you know what it's called, feel free to jump in and share. But so anyway, for each raving fan, and this is also what all my members board looks like too. So I used to have their likes, their dislikes, and their goals and events that they had coming up, and then any miscellaneous information. I now put this information into my CRM system. So that's another reason why I don't use Trello for this anymore, because this stuff goes into my CRM. But back when Isaac and I were just friends and business associates, look at all these things. Like I wrote down all the things I knew about him was just the drinks that he liked or disliked. I obviously started using this, stopped using this at some point before we started dating, but it was cute that I found that in there. And then if I just click on up here at the top, I can go back to my boards. And this one is one I want to show you. And it's really cool that Debbie's on this call today, because one of the ones I saved on here, again, yesterday I deleted a lot of things that was kind of like, this isn't really relevant, or I don't want to show this on a public camera. So one of the things I did leave on here was Southside Networking Women, which is one of Debbie George's groups. That's the one that Dave just spoke at this last month. And Debbie, I don't know if you guys were able to record that or not, but if so, I'd love for you to put that in the group, because I'd really like to see it. So here's what I did. So on the branding me, this is my branding me board. So this first section here, this is groups I'd like to speak to, right? First I was making a template of the things I would do if I wanted to speak to a group, and Debbie's group was one of those groups. Now on here, over where it says add another list, I could just click on that and I could say group contacts. Right, and here is where I could start compiling a list of, so I could say South Shore Networking Women, whatever, and then I could put in parentheses Debbie George, and then I could put her phone number, right? I'll just throw any phone number right there. So what I could do is, I'm gonna click off of it. Okay, so on this one, this is my template of what to do. This could be my contacts for the speaking, whoever's in charge of booking the speakers. So let's go into my template of this. In my template, this is where I had a checklist. This is my speaking checklist. So first I would do some research on the group, and then I'd connect with a few of their members online, you know, so that when I finally connected with the group leader, they already had members in the group who knew who I was. And then I would connect with the host or leader of the group online and say something along the lines of, hey, I noticed that you run this group. I actually have been in connection with person A and person B that belong to your group, and I'd really like the opportunity to speak to your group. Could you and I get on a phone call and I could share with you what I speak about? And so that's where this is a requested phone meeting. And then we schedule the meeting, then we complete the meeting. Immediately I send a thank you card saying, hey, thank you for having that meeting with me. I'm looking forward to speaking to your group. And then I publicly posted on social media that I've met with this, I spoke with this person and we scheduled a date for me to speak. I offer to speak for free for them, and then we book that date. I create a flyer, I promote it everywhere. And then after the speaking gig is completed, I check it. So you can check things right here, and then it crosses it off the list. And then I ask for a testimonial. And then I review, critique, and edit my own recording of the speaking gig so that I can get better. And then I publicly post thank you to this group. And if there is a snippet of the video, I share that within 24 hours. Then I ask for introductions to other group leaders. So after I speak to Debbie, after I speak at Debbie's group, I might say, Debbie, I love speaking to groups. Do you know any other groups that could use this type of topic? And then they refer me to other groups. And then that's a third party endorsement. And then I add the portfolio to my website. So then I say, this is a group I've spoken to. I add that to my website and also to my printed portfolio. So on this template, I don't check anything off, because when I find a group I want to speak to, so for instance, let's use Rick Gosser. I can't tell if he's jumped on the line yet, but he has a group. And let me see if I go to right here down where it says actions, I'm going to click on copy. And I'm going to name it South Shore Business Network, right? And then I'm going to keep this checklist, and I want it to stay on this board and in this list. And I want to put it at position number 2, because I want to always keep, excuse me, I want to always keep the template at the top so that I can keep reusing this template. And then but I want it to be in order of what the newest thing is on the top. So now, if we look in Debbie's group, this was way back several years ago. I had her contact information up there. I checked off everything I did. Now, because Debbie knew me personally, I didn't have to do this step. Once I let her know that I wanted to speak to her group and I would do it for free, she automatically booked me. We didn't have to do all this stuff. And I did all that. Now, here's one thing I didn't do. I never did ask for a testimonial. So Debbie, if you're watching, give me a testimonial. It's been a couple of years, I know, but so there's some of these things that I didn't follow up with. And then this is how you can tell when when you are actually keeping track of things, this is how you're able to get better at things. Because one of the things that that I always say is that what you measure is what grows. So the fact that I was measuring this means that I'm naturally going to get better at all of this stuff, right? But I've got to keep doing it. Now, if I go into the one that I just added, which is Rick's group, I click on it, and I could put this, I could make a note here. This is Rick Gosser's group. I joined in March 2020 as a member. I'd like to ask him how to be a speaker for it. Now, they don't technically have like speakers that stand up on a stage. From what I can tell, because I've been to a couple of the meetings, as you can see, I've just recently joined it. They have one person who tends to kind of lead the meeting and bring an educational topic. So that's what I'm looking for here. So I've already done the research, right? I've connected with people in the group. I've connected with the host. My next step is to say, hey, Rick, let's get on a phone call. And so that's what I'll do. Again, I don't know if Rick is watching this or not, but if you are, Rick, let's get on a phone call. If not, I'll call you later and ask for a phone call.
I just checked and didn't see him.
What's that?
I just checked and didn't see him on here.
Okay, thanks, Dwight. So yeah, so I'll reach out to Rick later and say, hey, can we get a quick 5-minute phone call in? And when he says yes, then I click these boxes as needed. And then at that point, I will share with Rick that, that I'm interested in the group, and that if I could be of any assistance, let me know. And then later I'll share with him that, hey, I was just thinking I'd speak to your group for free. So the first time when I speak to them here, I just tell them about what I would like to do, but we don't actually book anything. Later I reach out and say, you know what, I'd like to speak to your group for free. I'm going to waive my speaking fee to speak to your group for free. And then that's when you can get the date booked and all that stuff. But as you can see, all of this already went on here. This speaking checklist was already saved on here for me because I duplicated the template, which is why it's important to keep a template. And it does save automatically. So as you can see, I just didn't click a save button anywhere, but all that stuff that I checked just saved. And so then over here on the right-hand side, you can change a lot of stuff on here. You could change the board name, description. You could change the background, which is like all this back here. You may have noticed on some of the boards that I've showed you, they all have different backgrounds so far. You could just change it. Just click on it and choose whatever you want. You could also add your own right here. I don't know if that's an upgrade or not, actually. When Tracy jumps on, she could share whether that is or not. But I've never used any of this stuff, so I'll save that for Tracy as well. But
I'm not that knowledgeable.
Okay, no worries.
Using.
And again, this might be something that they, like a lot of this stuff, you decide if it makes sense for you, and then you jump into the basics. And if it makes sense, then you play around and test some of this other stuff. Okay. But so then one of the other things I want to show you then is if you come up to click on Trello, that's just the way I get back to the boards all the time. I think you probably could click on home or boards as well. But also this is where I used to keep track of some of because I would run events, a lot of events at one time. So again, I deleted some of the ones out of here. I kept some of them just to give you an example. But so for instance, my July 20th seminar at Green Cow, these were all the people who bought a ticket for it. And this was just so I had a running list, because some people paid cash, some people paid credit, some people paid check. And so it was really hard to keep track of everybody because they were paying in different ways. So I just started making lists. And so like, for instance, I might say 30-day virtual training, right? Oh, I realized that I did that. Okay. And then I might just start adding people on here, right? I might say Dwight, Marie, right? Tracy. I just start going, and you can type people, and that, and maybe I put on here most active or something, right? So these are the most active. Of course, I'm not going to put all 100 people in the group because they're not all participating. So maybe I make a list of, I could actually make a whole new board called the 30-day. In fact, let's do this. So I could, if I click up here on the right, I could move this list, and I want to move it to, I thought I could make a new one here, but it doesn't look like I can. Okay, hold on. Let me make a new board, because then I want to show you that I can move it to a new board. Does anyone have questions yet? I know I'm going super fast.
Yeah, I had my hand raised.
Oh, I didn't
It's
see that.
basically, right after I said that about Rick, I realized he's in there because I clicked on the chats and he's invited us to like his Facebook page, but I cannot seem to get that link in my cursor. I can't cut it or copy it or click on it to try to get to his Facebook page. So I can't use that. And as far as me typing his backslash at Facebook South Shore Business Networking Mentoring Group, that will take me like 20 minutes.
Yeah, no worries. Rick, could you post that link inside of our 30 days group to make it easier, please?
Yep, I'll do
Thank
that.
you very much.
Thank you.
And Dwight, thanks for bringing that up. And Debbie, I will send you a link later to give the testimonial. And Dave, thank you for your comment as well. Okay, so now that this has come up, I want to create a board. So I need to first decide where I want to create this other board, right? And so I don't necessarily need a whole new board. I'm going to create, I think they call these, I don't actually really remember. But either way, I'm going to create a new board right here. And I'm going to call this board 30 Days of Marketing Ideas, right? Group. And then I will create board. Here's where I could choose a background if I want a certain background. Let's choose this one. That looks fun. Now this shows which board, which team it will go on. Apparently I only have one team, which is Raving Fans. I don't really know how all that works. But, and then if I want to have it private or public, of course I want to keep this private to myself because I'm going to be putting people's names in here. And so I will hit create board. Give it a moment. While that's creating, I'm going to come back to my other tab that I was in before I decided to create a board. Okay, so there's that new board I just created. Here's the tab I was in, and remember I was creating this, but I want to move it. And let's see if I need to refresh my page or if it comes up automatically. I want to move this list to 30 Days of Marketing Ideas group. So I'm going to move it. Now, if I go back here and choose my 30 Days of Marketing Ideas group, I can start typing. So here's the most active people. Now I might also say people who have never participated and make a list, because maybe I send them an email and find out why they're not participating. Maybe I could say people who are never live on the call, but are marking their homework complete. Now, believe it or not, you guys, there are a lot of those people. Maybe they just can't jump on at 2 p.m. Maybe this is not a good time for them, but there's at least a dozen people who are never on our live calls, but they are actually marking that their homework is done. So those of you who are in that group, if you're watching this replay, I encourage you to reach out to me and let me know why you're not participating, because if it's something that I'm able to help with, I'd be happy to. If it's the time, obviously I can't change the time, but if you're having trouble getting on live, or if you're nervous about meeting other people or anything like that, I encourage you to reach out to me. But as you guys can see, I could create any different list here, and it could help me manage things. And you just pull it to see more. So let me just add a couple of lists here. Oops, where'd I go? Come back. Okay. I have no idea how I got where I am right now. Let me go back to that board. All right, so if I added another and click add list, and then another add list, just so that you can see I have a whole bunch here. If I want to get back to the first one, I just grab my screen and drag it, just like that. Now you could move these things around if you want. So like, see, I'm moving it, I'm just grabbing it and pulling it. You could also move these people around too. So you can move these however you see fit, right? Just different ways. You can edit things, as you see, just click on the pencil. You can, all kinds of different things. You could add due dates. A lot of the things I do don't have due dates for them necessarily, because it's just templates I'm creating. And in a moment, I'm going to give it to you, Tracy, but I want to show you guys one last thing before I move it to Tracy, because I know she uses this a lot more than me. And I want to just show you the templates real fast. So if you click on templates over here, these are boards that other people who have created that they've made public for people to use. So you could come to like business, for instance, and when it comes up, you could look at other people's boards and you can even use other people's boards. So let's find one. Oh, business model canvas. I love the business model canvas. I wonder if it's as good as the, let me click on it. I've not actually seen this one, but there's a book called Business Model Canvas, and I train on the business model canvas as well. But let's see. Oh, it is good. Okay, good. So let me use it. So let's say I want to use this template. I look at it, I read about it, I get to see a little example of what it looks like. If I decide I want to use it, I click Use Template, and then I choose where I want to put it. And I choose if I want to keep the cards or the templates, right? And of course I want to say yes, because that's why I'm using it. I could delete things later if I want to. But here, so this book and this process walks you through all this. As you can see, this is a step-by-step thing. You just come forward. And so what this is, value propositions. It says, what value do we deliver to the customer? So here's where you could write free training, right? Let's see, phone support. You can list all those different things there. You come over here for who do we create value. So in my case, we create value for a lot of people, obviously, but realtors and lawyers are our two biggest segments of people. And then if we come over here to channels, which channels do our customer segments want to be reached? So we might say Facebook, we might say kindness calls, right? These are ways that we're reaching our people. We might say magazine ads, any of the channels that you reach people through. We might say live networking events, right? And customer relationships. You just kind of go through each one of these. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you could just add things like that. And so they don't all necessarily need due dates. It could just be lists so that you can see where you're at and your team can see where, these different things as well. And in fact, now that I'm showing this again, I'm actually seeing some value in being able to use this to a small extent again. Obviously, I still keep before I was using this mostly for people, and then I've switched it to my CRM, but I could definitely see using this more for some of these templates. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to take any questions, and then after anyone asks their questions, Tracy, I'm going to allow you to share your screen, so you can go ahead and get prepped for that. Does anyone have questions right now?
Is that matrix background your own choice?
I'm sorry, what was that, Dwight?
The matrix background, is that your choice?
Yes, I actually chose that.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Alan, was it you that was asking another one?
Yeah, I was just going to ask if you would post where you want your reviews written. Would you post that in the group? Because I'd like to write a review for you also.
I sure will. Thank you, guys. I will post that today. And so anybody who would like to leave a review, in fact, I'll post a few different places. That way that I could get reviews in different locations. I'll post my Facebook, my LinkedIn. Google reviews are having an issue right now across the world. So I can't get my Google review to work right now, but if I happen to get it to work, I'll post that one as well. Thank you for the question, Alan. Any other questions before I bring Tracy on? All right, Tracy, it's all yours.
Okay. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Not yet. It says it's starting. There you go. We can see it.
Okay, so I am very new to Trello. Like, I've been using it over the past couple months. And the thing is, what I did to get it set up is I set up my postings each day for like one of my Facebook groups. And you can do this. I mean, I need to set one up for my personal page, LinkedIn, like all the different ways that you're going to be communicating. And this is a good way to kind of organize it. So, and what I did is I created this board. And then what I did is I communicated it with my team. The thing is, you can't have, like, this one here is a private board, as you can see. But if you want to share, you can invite people, but they have to be part of Trello to even see it. So in my case, because I was sharing a link with a bunch of people, I had to make it public. So I have one that's public and one that's private, but this is my one that I'm using. So basically what I've done is I've set it up to where I have like all the postings. So like on Mondays, here's some of my postings that I can post. So I have it set up ahead of time. It took me many, many hours to create it. But then once I have it, it's so easy to do, because basically inside of it, so here, I'll click on this one here so you can see. So I said, what is your favorite app that you can't live without? So I have, the nice thing is I have the picture already created. And what I have found, I don't know, there could be an easier way to do this, but basically what I do is I just copy the verbiage, go post it on Facebook, and then I click on the picture and I just right click, I put copy image, I paste it right into the post, and it's done. The nice thing about this though too is that you can, once you get it done, you can take this one, and what I did is I created one little, and I don't know the terminology on this, but I created a little, it's like this little dash line, and I can bring this to the bottom when I use it. So then every, like there's like, 12, I don't know, 12, 15 postings for each day. And so I can reuse the data afterwards. So, after I've posted so many, you can still keep posting the same information. Now, one of the things that, and it's really nice because you can take, like, especially for the Techie Tuesday, if I wanted to do another one that was kind of a Techie Tuesday topic, because I change up the topics each day, and you can see like some of the topics, like on Mondays, I've got Manifest Monday, Marketing Monday, Meal Prep Monday, Monday Meme. So I just change it up for different things. So I'm constantly posting different things. I mean, typically Tuesday is my Tip Tuesday, but if I don't have a tip that day, I can change it up. But it really helped me create different, unique information that I could post. And it really has helped with the engagement from the group as well. Now, one of the nice things, like on the Motivational Monday, if I wanted to create, which I think she kind of covered it, you can copy it, and then I can just recreate the material right in there. So sometimes I just change up the verbiage a little bit. It's the same topic. I just change up the verbiage a little bit. The important thing is, though, if you are creating, like maybe someone's giving you a board, you have to make sure that you copy the board. And I'm trying to remember how I did that on a certain board. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember, because I have like a whole video, like when you get to this tutorial, I have a whole video set up, because if I give this board to somebody, it has everything in there, like the video on how to use it. Let's see, I'm trying to remember what I did with it. If I went to boards, let's see, well, looks, this is what I copied the board from. Let's see here. I don't know why it says video template. So I had to, I think this little screen here is in my way. Let me move it. Oh yes, under show menu, when you go down there and you click on more, this is where you can actually copy a board. So if someone gives you a board, you can actually copy the board to create your own board, okay? So that's gonna be important, because especially when you have a public board, if anyone changes things on that public board, it will change everybody's board, okay? So, I mean, I don't know enough about it. One of the things that I really want to create is like a prospect board. And I want to create different ones for different prospecting things, because I'm a paper person, and some of you might be paper people, but I'm telling you what, I can't keep up with all the papers. This person's name's written on this little sheet, and this person's name's written on this sheet, or sometimes I'll try to do it in my calendar, and then maybe I don't get a hold of them, like they never reach back And so I'm having a hard time keeping up with the trail of paperwork, and I'm fairly decent with follow-up. So the nice thing with this Trello board, this Trello app, you can have it on your phone. So if you're out and about and you meet somebody, you can actually make one of these little cards for them that has their information, you know, all of their phone number, everything. And then you can set it up, like what day are you going to follow up with them? So I haven't quite figured out exactly, like if I want to do like a month, have a month, and then have the days in the month, and then I can put people information there. So I haven't quite figured out in my mind how to work on it, but it's one of my things to do because I think it would be a lot easier than trying to put things on paper or minutes just going back and putting all that information down. So I don't know if anyone has any questions.
Yeah, Dwight had his hand up. Dwight, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Tracy.
So,
Yes.
is this a social media platform? I mean, are these boards or whatever you have pinned up here, are they things that like people that you have in your group can see all of these things?
No, not the people in my group. No, they
So
can't see it.
this is her planning tool to put stuff
Yes.
out on social media. So it's not technically social media, but she uses it to plan her social media.
Yeah.
So when you talk about sharing these, like you have getting started, new members, Mondays, Tuesdays, these are your like your to-do lists for each day and only you can see them?
Yes. Whoever can see that board. So the board that I have, my Tracy's Gems, now the one I just showed you was a public board, but this one's a private board. So, but like this is the new members. So the new members in my group, I can click on this and it says, look who joined our group this week. Please let us know a little bit about you. So I can copy. The bad thing is when you set these things up, it uses Splash for your pictures. So in this case, I can't figure out like this is a Splash picture. So the problem is, and you can change the cover. So if you go to cover, let's see here. I got to move this window constantly. I can remove the cover and I can add another cover when you add, or it's unsplash, excuse me. So you can look, you can get free pictures. So it's really nice. I could say welcome, and it's going to give me a bunch of different welcome pictures. So I can save the different, so then each time I try to do a welcome once a week, like for the new members of the group. So I can pick different pictures. But one of the things that I notice when I pick a picture from Unsplash, it doesn't have the picture down here for me to copy. And I end up having to go on my computer, or excuse me, on my phone versus on my computer, and I'm able to copy that picture. Like I'm able to save it and then post it. But for the most part, most of the pictures, I've loaded up the pictures. The problem is you have to save them on your computer and then load them up. And I haven't figured out the workaround with that one. But it just gives you some ideas if you want to be posting on a consistent basis. And each day you're not wanting to, like, oh my goodness, what am I going to post today? And the nice thing is you can plan ahead and schedule out all of your postings as well. So you can do that, like the next 6 months or whatever. I mean, right now I'm posting pretty much daily because I'm doing a lot of different things. So depending on what I'm planned for the week, I'm like just getting in front of people a lot because right now I'm having a harder time selling. And so I just want to be in front of people. And so I'm coming up with creative ideas. Like tomorrow I'm doing a scavenger hunt, and I'm just trying to have fun things for people to keep, me in front of their mind.
Nice.
Tracy?
Phyllis, one moment, please.
Okay.
So Tracy, a couple of quick things I wrote down while you were talking. We do have a day where we will talk about scheduling your social media posts. That's towards the end. And so this is obviously an option that you could use. There's some other options you could use. Some of the other ones are going to cost money. The nice thing about Trello is that it is free.
Okay.
And then David, I know you had your hand up, and I know that Phyllis has a question as well. So why don't we go David first because he had his hand up first, and then Phyllis
Sure.
If anyone else has a question, make sure to mark the raise hand and we'll go in order. Go ahead, David, you have the floor.
Thank you. Pretty much you answered it, but I just wanted to reiterate it. So it sounds like you're creating your content on a daily basis because things change so often. And from what I'm seeing here, you're doing it for different platforms, but it could be a Facebook group or a closed group, you know, with the boards. How long have you been using this, Tracy? And how much would you guesstimate it's improving your activity by engaging people with these, you know, these different boards on the different material or questions you're asking?
Well, you know what, I had started really posting on a consistent basis probably about, I'd have to say 4 or 5 months ago. And when I started doing that, it was huge. But also when I really started thinking about what am I going to post, because I'm not just posting like things about my business. It's all kinds of things. Because I notice I get, like the other day, Saturday, I said, what's your favorite type of Easter candy? I had 1 million people post on that.
Sure.
And so I try to mix it up. You know, sometimes I talk about products. Sometimes I don't. Most of the time I do not. I try to add value added content. So I think that really helped. Like, so right now I'm looking at, you know, like I'm talking to people and I'm like, okay, what are you needing help with? And all these women are needing help with their nails because they've all been going to the nail salon and now they don't know how to take off these artificial nails. They don't know how to paint their nails. They don't know what to do. They have no clue. And
how about who's going to cut my hair?
Exactly. Well, next week we're doing a bang cut, like how to cut your bangs. So
nice.
Really thinking about who your audience is, what their needs are, I think is going to really help tremendously. But you could have a different board for your business page, for your personal page, for your LinkedIn. And the nice thing is you can copy the boards, just like she told us, copy it from one to the other. You can use the same content if you want to, because no one's going to know if you post on Instagram and then 2 days later you post it in Facebook. And even if they do notice it's the same, it's like it might spur them to actually take action on whatever you stated. So it's just been my way to organize things and to create unique content that is not driven by the company that I'm affiliated with.
Right. So you mix it up and you're very versatile. One last question, I'll be real quick here, is with the platforms, what platforms do you use and how often are you posting? Like daily, 3 times a week? I'm just curious.
Well, I like to post like in my VIP group. That's what I've been really focusing on is I'm posting daily. And so now I'm starting to try to post daily on my personal page on different things. And then I'm going to start trying to post daily on my business page. Like my business page, I probably do 2 or 3 times. If you can do it once a day on all of those platforms that you're using, it's better. You're going to get more engagement. More people are going to see it because let's face it, most people don't see things like every day. So they're not on every day. And so you're going to hit people so they start remembering you. But it's important not to just be market, like your products, like get a quote, or whatever you might want to say. It's important not to just keep selling. It's important to add value to them that relates to your topic. Like mine's on style. So I'm sharing all kinds of style tips for women.
Sure. So if I put a post of me forcing somebody's head in a vice and it said, bye, that won't be a good thing? No, I'm just joking.
You could probably do that every once in a while just to create some fun. And they would probably definitely look at, what the heck is he doing? And sometimes those are good things. But I've just really been trying to be more consistent with it. So hopefully that helped you.
Oh, that did. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Phyllis. All right. Thank you, Tracy. And thanks for your questions, Dave. Phyllis, we're moving on to you. Go ahead.
Just to clarify, this is more of a worksheet or a workbook for what you're going to copy and paste onto other platforms.
Yes.
It's your own, baskets or scratch pad, and then you clean them up, tweak them, and move them to other platforms.
Yes, you can. You can change. You can copy one board from the next.
But
you can
nobody
also-
really sees. Nobody else sees your Trello.
Right, just me.
Because I was surprised when I first got on Pinterest. I thought it was my own personal scrapbook, and then all these people were following me, and I didn't know how it happened.
Yes. Yeah. This one, it's your own personal stuff.
But
So-
if you have an assistant or a team in your office and you want to give them access to it or share it, they can do that?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay.
And
Thank
you can do that if it's a private one, you can invite them. But the important thing is they have, so you can send them that, you can invite them that link and you can put their email address, but they have to be signed up with a Trello account first before they're
Okay.
going to be able to see it. And that's because for a while there, I kept sending it to one of my team members and she's like, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. And then she finally figured out she had to create the account.
Okay.
If it's public, you can copy it, but then of course it's public so anyone can find it.
Sure.
So, but I mean, I just did that because I have team members coming on all the time, and this helps them to be able to consistently post in their groups, and it gives them content. So part of it was I was trying to organize it for them too, but it helps me because every day I think, okay, what am I going to post today? Especially right now, I've been kind of going week by week because so much is changing. And here's the thing, you got to be really careful with the world we're living in with this virus. If you're not making any comments about it, because I've seen people's groups that look like they had it set up for 6 to 9 months, and they're not saying one thing about the virus. They're not
current.
You need to make sure that you're talking about the times right now because it makes it relevant.
Thank you very much, Tracy. And Phyllis, thank you for your question. Did that answer your question, Phyllis? Do you have any more?
Yes, it did. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody else have any questions, comments, or concerns about this platform?
Can you copy a board and post the board to Facebook or Pinterest or any of those types of platforms?
The whole board?
Like you're getting started board right here.
Yeah, so I think just saying, you could post it if you have it public or if you have it sharing with people, but in order for people to see it, they would need to have a Trello account.
Okay, I thought she was talking about sending it directly to them, like through text or messenger, and then they have to have their account to see it. But if you post it to social media and say, like if I put something on my Facebook page from Trello and say, hey, David, check this out. And, then he can't see it unless he has Trello. But
I
Yeah,
believe,
but this is the invite button. This is where you put their email address. So you can invite them with a link there. Like that's going to be probably best. I mean, this is your organization. This is your list, your to-do list or whatever. Like it's just a different way. She talked about yesterday with the Google Drive and all the different things that you could do. This is just a different organization way. And I'm just sharing with you how I'm using it right now just to make the postings easier. Does that help?
and actually, I'm going to post real fast. I copied one of my link boards. I'm going to post it in the 30 days group. And Dwight, I think that would be the easiest way to answer your question, because if I am hearing you correctly, you're asking that if you just post your board as a link on social media, can people view it? And
Yes.
I believe the answer is not if they don't have a Trello account, but I'm going to post a link in there just so you guys can see. But click on it before you create a Trello account so that you can see if that's possible or not.
okay.
All right, any other questions?
I see you answered Rick's question about which calendar.
Yeah, so those of you who may see it in the chat there, or maybe you don't. But Rick was saying that I've shared a lot of organizing platforms, and which one do I recognize or do I recommend? And I had responded to him that I don't know that there's a one size fits all answer for that. I think everybody's going to be different. I myself personally use Asana the most, and I know that Tracy personally uses Trello the most, from the ones that we've shared anyway. And so it's going to be different for everybody. It will depend on your needs and your goals. So I think it's going to be your own discretion to see the opportunities in each one and see which one makes the most sense for you.
I know Asana, I hear a lot of people that are doing like major projects, digital courses, things like that. A lot of people are using that, especially when you have a lot of steps.
Mhm.
I could see that being very important. You could use Trello too. It's a project management type system, but
Right. And when you have a team, like for me, it works best for my team management. It helps me manage who's doing what on the team as well. All right, so I just posted the link, you guys, in our group, if anyone wants to test and see if you're able to see that without a Trello account. All right, perfect. Any other questions then, you guys? Tracy, you did a great job. Thank you so much for your assistance on that.
I don't feel like I know that much about it.
Well, you did great.
But I've just been using it for a couple of months just to kind of give people an idea of different ways they can use it. And if anyone wants like a generic board, I can give you a generic board that you can then go to your postings. Just let me know, just message me and I'd be happy to share the link.
Thank you, Tracy. And you guys can also use those templates. Like if you don't know where to start, get ideas from the templates there. There's lots of different ideas. You could look at what other people have created. You could either use theirs or get ideas from it. That's why they're posted there. They post them so people can use them. All right, so before we jump off the call, I've got a couple things here that I want to touch on. Tracy, I know that you talked about, when I shared my Facebook Live the other day about, those of you who didn't see it, I'll make it real brief here, but basically Tracy a couple years ago had helped me to learn to accessorize things and to take basically the clothes I already had and be able to use them in different ways and actually wear them more. And so you guys may have noticed that every day of this video, I try to wear a different top, right? Because I have so many in my closet. And so I'm trying to just like get use out of this time since we're stuck here anyway. All you're seeing is up here anyway. But so I had to wear a different shirt every day for this next 30 days. And I've been doing really well. But when I shouted Tracy out on Facebook and it gave her an idea, and I wanted her to share that with you guys because I think that she's making a challenge with that. Tracy, can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm trying to get the timing of all of this, but I said, oh, wouldn't it be a great idea? Like in my VIP group, I do these challenges all the time and I challenge them to do different things. So one of the things that I thought of challenging people to do is to wear a different top every day. So think about in your groups, how can you challenge people based on the subjects that you're talking about? Because people love to be in challenges and it encourages people. It gets you in front of people each day. I always like to give prizes for people that do the challenge. And sometimes it depends on the person, you know, like I'll say either take a picture or just tell me you did it, you know, because I know for some people, older people, I have some older people in my groups, they don't even know how to take a picture and post it in the group. So just think about different things that you can do, especially right now. I think it's important to be in front of your customers. Maybe you're not selling a lot right now, but being in front of them. So think about different challenges that you can do. And the nice thing about these challenges is that you can post them even on your personal page, and it could help drive the traffic into your special groups, because it's hard to build relationships with people like on the personal side. You can through messaging and things like that, because that's one of the things that I really started looking at in January is ways that I could build up my following through social media versus just meeting people and filling them in. So I've been doing a lot of reaching out, but it's a great way to get people kind of like, I have new friends that don't know anything that I do. So then I suggest, you know, like I say, hey, does anyone feel like to wear the same clothes all the time? Well, you know, join my wear a different top each day challenge or whatever. Like, I don't know what the name of it's going to be, but just promoting things like that that will help you put these people into more of your groups if you have them, where you can develop relationships, because people like to, you know, buy from people they know, like, and trust.
For sure. And actually, Tracy, I'm glad that you shared that, because actually day 30 of this group is a challenge. I'll be teaching you guys about challenges and help you come up with a challenge to do. And then after that, we go into a challenge right inside this group. And so, so that's going to transition us out of the 30 days and into what will be next. And I do want to let you guys know also that I am posting today. I will be posting the offer that I told you guys would be coming out at the end of the 30 days. I'll be posting it today, and there will be an extra discount on top of the already discount if you buy it before the 30 days is over. I'm not going to share that with you. I'll post it in here. I'll post both a video and a picture probably. But if you wait till 30 days is over, you still get an awesome discount. But if you purchase it in the next 10 days before the 30 days is over, then you get a better discount. And then before I give you your homework, I also want to announce something with Tim here. Tim and I had a phone call today, and we came up with a fantastic idea. I told you guys that we were kind of throwing a day 31 in here to be able to bless each other. So Tim and I found we were doing this to be able to bless each other, right? It's like, I want to bless you. No, I want to bless you. Tim is real tricky. He keeps trying to get me to give him information, and then he sends me gifts, right? Like, he's super awesome like that. So I'm like, well, I'm going to do the same thing. So I sent him a book last week, and I'm like, and so he tricked me, and he's like, oh, check out this Amazon thing. And like, it's an Amazon wish list. And he's like, do this. And so I went to do it. I thought he was asking me to tell him if it worked or to give him information about it, but he got my wish list. Which is what he was wanting, because he's a good friend like that. And so then I tried to trick him, and I'm like, well, Tim, show me how it works by giving me your wish list. And then we had a conversation, and we're like, this would be a fantastic way for people to stay kind of in touch and blessing each other. Even after the 30 days is over. Now, of course, you're not obligated to buy anything off anyone's wish list or anything like that, but we thought it might be a fun way to be like, oh, well, I want to send something nice to Marie today. And wouldn't it be nice to send her something she wants when you look on her wish list, right? And so there's going to be an extra training. We'll call it day 31, but it will probably actually be on day 30 because of the whole challenge thing. And Tim is going to be our guest trainer, where he's going to show how to create an Amazon wish list, how to find somebody's Amazon wish list, how to purchase something off someone's Amazon wish list, and all that good stuff. So if you guys want to be part of that, it will give you an opportunity to be able to bless others and also possibly be blessed yourself. So stay tuned for that. If anybody else has anything that they're like, Barbara, I have something I want to share with the group too, reach out to me and let me know, and we'll see where we can fit that in, okay? And then the last thing I need to give you is your homework, which is, you guys, I'm going to tell you, I totally forgot to create the homework image to put in the group. So I'll do that after the call, but I do know what the homework is. I covered myself, my clipboard here. Okay, so the first thing is, you guys, again, you don't have to use Trello if it makes sense for you. But if you think you at least want to give it a try, then go ahead and create a Trello account. Create at least one board and at least one list inside that board. Once you've done that, either take a screenshot of it or share the link, or just post in there saying, hey, I did this. This is what I created. And just give us, let us know how you liked it. If you come up with an idea that you could share with everybody, let us know that too. Or if you find a really cool board in the templates that you're like, everybody should see this, post the link to that. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what you guys come up with. And again, if you don't use it, that's okay. But if you do, be accountable by posting stuff in the group. All right, any questions before we go? Questions, comments, concerns?
No, I was going to tell you though that I clicked on the link, and unless you open it, it tells you to.
I'm sorry, say that again, Marie. It broke up.
The link that you posted, I clicked on it and it says open it. I have to have.
It says you need a Trello account to open it?
Yeah, well, you need to sign up is what it
Oh,
said. Yeah.
got it. Perfect. Thank you, Tracy. My internet is unstable right now, it looks like. So, okay, let's see. Phyllis says, speaking of challenge, KJ is wearing the hope ring I won in Tracy's virtual bingo last week. Look at that. KJ, can you show us? Is KJ still on? Can you just turn your video on and show us your hope ring? Oh, look at that. I like it. Thank you. And that came from Tracy's virtual bingo, which I'm sure was fun. Rick says tomorrow's session challenge. We go all in, full body views, guys. Same PJs, different top, right? There you go. Exercise. Let's all do exercise while we're at it. Let's see. Glad you got it, Phyllis. Tomorrow's a scavenger hunt. So if you want to be part of Tracy's group that she's doing all this fun stuff in, send her a private message and she'll let you know how to get involved with that. We'll shower tomorrow. All right, you guys, this has been fun. Tracy, thank you so much for your help on this. I hope that you guys found value in it, see yourself using it somehow. If you think of anything else, just post it in the group. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's topic is Canva and Pixabay. This is where I'm going to teach you how to create an image of your own that you could post on social media, and it will help you look like you're a graphic designer even though you're not. So cool, and it's free.